Hello, everyone. Welcome back to another episode of Backwards Talking with Spencer. So, I thought that I would do something a little timely. It's a year and a half late, but we're still very much going through all this. We're going to talk about coronavirus related words, four of them, and we'll just do it. Let's get into it. Yeah, let's get into it. Let's get into it. All right. So the first one, we're just going to do COVID. We're going to skip the 19. There might be a 21, a 22 someday. Also, I'll probably make an episode where we just do numbers. That's probably a good idea. We very much need to know how to say numbers backwards. Okay, so COVID. This is just a simple two-syllable word. COVID. Again, we take the last syllable first to figure out what that is. And again, as in the last episode, I have everything written down here, so I will be looking down here a lot. Like that, like that. Okay. COVID. It's just div. It's spelled, you flip the letters, it's spelled that way. Div. It's easy. And then there's a sort of W sound at the end, so we have to start with that. Woke. It's woke, actually. That's a word, woke. So it's div-woke. Let's just say COVID forwards and make sure that we're correct in that. All right, let's do that. Yeah, okay, fine. Let me see if I remember how to do this. COVID. Flip it around. I wish I had a better shortcut for that. Yeah, so it's got that weird backward sound to it. There's a little bit of an sound at the very beginning, uhdiv-woke, because when you say COVID, there's the air escaping at the end there. Let's listen to it again. Uhdiv-woke. So I'm changing it to an uhdiv-woke, and it's like a subtle. It's like a little Maybe I'll put the text in real tiny, like right over there somewhere, real tiny. Okay, so let's try that. Let's delete that and go. Uhdiv-woke. Now that was interesting. Let's see how that comes out. COVID. Yeah, I mean it's close enough. It's hard to get some of the consonant sounds out in the right way. But yeah, I think that works. All right, what's next? Oh, this is the fun one. Coronavirus. This is what? Coronavirus. Yeah, 5 syllables. A good long 5-syllable word. So last syllable first. Russ. Suhr. Yeah, it's kind of a weird one, but that's how I would say that. Suhr. Coronavirus. It's like the word I, which would be ya, but it's vi. There's a V sound, so it's not vi, it's yahv. So we just add a V to the end of that. Corona. Na is just un. It's like unnecessarily backwards. That's what this is. So un is na. Na, un. Row. Just like in COVID, it has that W sound. Row has that W sound. So that would be war. So we've got war. That's a word, war. And then how do you say it? You say corona, uck. That's what I would say. So what is that all together? Saryavanwarak. But it's probably a little quicker than that, smoother than that. Let's check it frontwards first. Coronavirus. And let's flip it. Saryavanwarak. Yeah, so obviously when you say it in normal speech, it comes out very quick. Let's just try to say it the way I wrote it, sort of separated. It's that typical very slow backwards thing that if you were like me, you would have a lot of experience with, but not Not everybody does. Yeah, so let's try that. Saryavanwarak. So that was obviously very slow, much slower than normal speech. What does this sound like? Coronavirus. Yeah, I mean, it came out very accurate, just very slow. So let's try and say it a bit quicker. Saryavanwarak. All right. I think it's going to be close enough. It's not totally accurate, but let's see what this sounds like. Coronavirus. Yeah, it definitely is smoother and quicker. So that I think works out. Saryavanwarak. Saryavanwarak. I want all the news people when they're talking about the coronavirus to say Saryavanwarak. All right, what's the next one? It's the word pandemic. We are still living in a pandemic, sort of, with a lot of people vaccinated. It helps. We get to go out more often. But at the time of recording, at the end of July, the CDC now says you need to wear masks again. Mask, that should be another one. Because there are so many people who are not vaccinated that the Delta virus has come out, and people who are vaccinated are getting it, and this is a very timely and political episode, but that's fine. It's something to talk about. But those people who are vaccinated who are still technically getting it, they're not getting as sick, they're not dying. It's kind of a relatively easy thing to deal with. So it's still really, 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 really good to get vaccinated. Please get vaccinated. But back to the word pandemic. Let's see. Syllable by syllable. Mick is the last syllable. It's Kim. Mick, Kim. Next syllable, pandemic. Da backwards would be ed. This is one of those, like fish, where you can kind of just flip the word, flip the spelling, and you can pretty easily figure it out. They're not all like that, though. And then the last syllable, which is the first syllable, is pan. It's nap. So let's say this forwards and hear what it sounds like. Pandemic. Flippy time. So how accurate do we want to try and get this? It's got that backwards sound. How do I describe that? Each syllable sort of... Let's just hear it again. Yeah. Kimednap. You have to sort of emphasize the end of each syllable. Kimednap. So let's just try that. See what happens. Kimednap. And it's going to have that backwards sound, which all of this does, but it should sound pretty close. Pandemic. Yeah. Even the k sound at the end wasn't too bad. Let's hear it again. Pandemic. Pandemic. That's what it is. Oh, this is a fun episode. All right. And then the last one, I was just going to do Delta, because that's what we've got going on. And who knows? There might be another strain in the future, because it's evolving. Because there are so many people who aren't vaccinated. Maybe I'll do another one of these where I do vaccinated, vaxxed, mask, something else. All right, Delta. 2-syllable word, super easy. Delta, or ut, and del is lead. So let's just say it forwards first. Delta. Yeah, and that T definitely gets weird. As I mentioned before, you get a little S sound with a T. It's very subtle depending on how you say it. So let's hear this one again. It's like uht-led, kind of. Uht-led. I'm going to change my thing here. All right, so let's try that backwards. See what happens. Uht-led. All right. Backwards is Delta. Yeah, it was a little too much of an S sound. Let's try it without the S, so just uht-led, and not emphasize the T too much. Let's try that. Uht-led. I don't think it's going to be great, but again, T's are weird, so it'll be close enough. Delta. Yeah, actually, that was better than I expected it to be. Let's hear that amazing performance again. Delta. Love it. All right, so let's rehash what we did. So COVID would be uhdiv-woke, and coronavirus would be suhr. Coronavirus. And pandemic is kemednap. Pandemic. And delta would be uht-led. Delta. Cool. I think that's all I got today for you. If you want to hear me read the dictionary and make comments and sometimes have guests and silly jokes and just talk and sometimes sing, you can check out my podcast called The Dictionary. At the very, very end, there will be a link, and there's links in the show notes as well. You can follow me on Instagram and Twitter at speedjampar, because sometimes I post stuff. And finally, Bjark's Bus. Subscribe.